Hello everyone. In this video, I'm gonna tell you a story which is both amusing and heavy if you consider that it's a true story. Now, the Chinese government issued a policy about those people who comes from Hubei. Basically, if they tried whichever way they try, if they found any people out of Hubei province who is actually Hubeinese, they will check you. They will send you to the hospital. They will get you checked. You won't be able to get properly accommodated. You won't have easy access to food because everyone's afraid of getting infected. Here, this story is what this guy called Mr. Liu. He was working in Wuhan before the Spring Festival. He decided to use the Spring Festival holiday to travel to the south with his car. That was before the outbreak of the coronavirus, so he left without problem. He didn't know there would be trouble. So after he left, on January 23rd at 5 a.m., he was off the highway and he is now in Jiangxi, which is a province south to Hubei. After a night's driving, he was trying to rest in the hotel, but the local policeman came in. They told him to dress up with his face mask. Emergency ambulance took him to the hospital to get checked up. Everything was normal. He's not infected, so he left the hospital. That is the starting point of his 6 days of homeless life. So when he left Wuhan, where he worked, he didn't know anything about the coronavirus. He was just trying to travel through the several southern provinces and then go back home to Hunan to spend the Spring Festival with his family. But when he was back to the hotel, the workers there told him that they can't let him in. They were asking the security, the waitress, to spy on him. He finally had to pack up and leave. He was driving towards the Guangxi direction. All the way he was trying out of his way to find a hotel, but until he reached Guilin city, he hasn't found it. He was too sleepy. He decided to park the car in the service zone, put down the seat, and sleep in the car. On 24th January, it was the Chinese Lunar New Year. It's the New Year's Eve. He's now in Guangxi. He finally found a hotel which would accept him. But the local policeman and the ambulance come again. 3 fully equipped staff took him to the hospital to get checked. He told the staff that he has been checked before. He showed them his report. But they were saying that was 2 days ago and he has to be checked up again. Everything was normal. Mr. Liu went out of the hospital and decided to take a taxi back to hospital. He realized no taxi was willing to take him. He said, initially, I don't know why. Then a driver told me that you're pretty famous now. Everyone in our WeChat group knows about you and you're from Hubei. Mr. Liu was don't know what to say, so eventually he had to walk for 4 kilometers before he got back to the hotel. After he's back, there is a weird atmosphere floating around. Everyone was seeing him from afar. When he was in the elevator, everyone just get out of the elevator as soon as possible. Eventually, he couldn't stay anymore. He decided to pack up and leave at 3 p.m. without eating anything. He parked his car in front of a restaurant to eat, but just after he ordered things, the boss told him to wait outside and he had to take away. Mr. Liu was feeling very bad. He parked the car to the service zone. He was eating and crying. Then he realized along the service zone he passed, there are many car owners with license of the Hubei province. They're just like him. They're taking their sheets and food with them. They're sleeping in the service zone. One car owner, he was taking his girlfriend and sister out to travel. They eventually decided to have a tent and food and live in the mountain. On Chinese Lunar New Year's Eve, Mr. Liu decided to get into the town to eat something proper. But just when he was out of the highway, he was stopped by the traffic policeman. He had to park the car back to the service zone. He bought an instant noodles. That is what he had for the New Year's Eve. Knowing that it's impossible for him to get back to Wuhan at the time, he decided to go back to Hunan, which is his hometown. He was asking his friend to tell him about how it's going with the coronavirus in his hometown. His friend told him that the whole town was being blocked. When the head of the town knew about the news of him coming back, he caught him immediately, asking him, please don't go back. Please don't come back. Please don't. It will cause the whole town trouble. So eventually, Mr. Liu decided to drive to Kunming, and there he would be able to live with his friend. That is the end of the story.